Welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast. And we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans and married couple, Kat
And Paul,
with Pikachu.
who is always very, very amazed that she can do the fan podcast in one long breath.
That's
That's
because I
very,
have theatrical training,
that's
baby.
very, very, it's just one of those, oh my God, she can do that in one long breath. I'm sure there are a lot of us that a lot of them are sitting there with a stopwatch going, let's see how long it takes her to.
Well, I could go longer, but I don't.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's okay. Now, if anybody's wondering, this week I am wearing the T-shirt "Never Sleep Again," and if anybody knows horror
Freddy
movies,
Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. Yes, Never Sleep Again. So if you love horror movies as much as I do, then just email me perpetualmotionsquad00@gmail.com and we can have a bit of a
And
conversation.
please give him someone to talk to besides me because I hate horror movies.
Yeah, please talk to me. I'm nice.
He is.
I'm a nice person.
He is very nice.
We've had a very busy week again this week.
Yes.
Very, very busy, but I'm glad it's finally over. And we are back to do our podcast, which we are doing an awesome episode this week.
Yes. Now, yeah, because I was gone for 3 days
Yes, you were.
at a business retreat in Melbourne,
Yes, yes,
actually about 90 minutes outside of Melbourne.
yes. So I was all by myself.
Yes. Well, with Oliver.
And well, with Oliver, but I watched horror movies.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, everybody, that I'd watch a horror movie wearing a Nightmare on Elm Street t-shirt. Who would have thought?
I know.
But we are going to see, as we said last week, we are going to see Wicked coming up in November. So even though Wicked is not my jam, it's not my thing, and musicals are not my, well, actually, no, I can't say, okay, this is the thing. I can't say musicals is not my thing because I love Grease. I love Xanadu,
All that jazz.
all that jazz, a chorus line,
Yep.
So there are movies, Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever.
Sorry.
What's that?
I've just got one going through my head
Right.
now.
Okay. So there are a lot of, like Eddie and the Cruisers, I
Mm.
mean, so there are a lot of movies. Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ah,
How could I forget that one? Rocky Horror. Could never forget Rocky Horror
yeah.
Picture
So
Show.
I just introduced him to the really classy musicals, like Fiddler
Oh
on the
my,
Roof.
I'm sorry. No, 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 no. Rocky
And
Horror will always be ahead of Wicked. I'm sorry. Rocky Horror Picture Show is an absolute masterful classic. Way ahead of Wicked. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. No, I will Pepsi challenge you on that one. I would say there'd be more people that love Rocky Horror than Wicked. But even though that is not my jam, I'm excited to be going there with her because she gets two glasses of champagne because I'm not drinking and driving. She gets two goodie
goodie
bags
bags.
of stuff that I don't know what we're going to get. So,
It'll be collectible, whatever
it'll
it
be
is.
collectible stuff. So she's very excited about that. So,
I am.
yeah, so that's what we're going to go and see. But this week, we are here to do season two, episode number, is it seven?
Seven.
We're on seven.
The Panty Piñata polarization.
What did we think about this episode?
It's a good episode.
I really like this episode because it shows Sheldon that Penny is, even though she seems like a pushover, she is not. And she's got your number, buddy, and she is not going to be pushed over,
Yeah.
pushed around at
I mean,
all.
Leonard keeps trying to convince her to knuckle under and just give
Yeah.
in, and it's like, no.
I'm just wondering how far it would have gone if Leonard had not given her the Sheldon's kryptonite. I wonder how long this thing would
Mm,
have gone.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
no, it is. I look, it's one of my, it's definitely in my top 10 favorite episodes.
Okay. It's not
Although,
in my top 10, but
although I definitely will say that Howard's creepiness and his ability to drag Raj into the creepiness, yeah, it's a bit hard to, yeah. But look, I mean, the
yeah.
thing is, the way it is with this, and obviously everyone has seen this episode, that Howard and Raj are trying to find the house for the next top model house, where a girl every week gets kicked off of the show. Now, yeah, I know. Look, I know in this is not real life. In theory, it sounds good, but in reality, this house is walled off. There are security guards. There is television cameras everywhere. You could not get near this house to do what they do at the end of this episode. But it's fun to think. So
Yeah,
we'll
it's
go
fun to
with
think
that.
that you
Yeah,
if you could.
we'll go with that. So the episode opens up where we've got Penny coming in, and actually no, the first four we got in is the boys are playing Klingon Boggle, and as we're going along, Penny comes in and says she needs to borrow or needs to use Leonard and Sheldon's TV, and it's because apparently her television is just getting a bunch of static, and as Howard says, "Did you pay your cable bill?"
Oh, you sound just like the cable company.
Yep. And we find out that she is watching America's Next Top Model.
Yep.
And all the boys, bar Sheldon,
Sheldon, yeah.
immediately turn to the TV screen and are
They're
mesmerized.
fixated. Now, I'd like to point out in 2008, when this episode aired, America's Next Top Model was on the on the network CW, an
Yep.
over-the-air network channel. So therefore, Penny would not have needed cable to watch it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Would have just been on regular
It was
TV.
on free air TV.
Oh. And
Hmm.
as we're going along with this whole conversation, there's Howard, being the ever Howard that he is, going, "Oh, why is that Mrs. Wallowitz crying?" And we find out that's Anais, and none of the girls in the house hate her. Or no,
No,
none
they
of the
all
girls
hate her.
like
Nobody
they all
likes
hate
her.
her. And he goes, "House, house, what house?" And she says, "I don't know, some house in LA apparently." And he goes, "So
You're telling me I am less than an hour's drive from a house filled with aspiring supermodels?
yeah." And she goes, "Yeah, I guess." And he goes, "Oh, and where they, shower
Shower
together
together
and have naked
and
pillow fights
fights.
together."
Yeah.
And you see Penny just get up and go to work out, and Leonard's like, Where are you going?" And she goes, "I'm going to pay my cable bill."
Yeah.
But I like it
Because to
how,
quote Ramona Nowitzki, ew.
ew. Yeah, Ramona, we actually like this side of you with this scenario with Howard. He is a ooh.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I find interesting about this is that Howard is sitting there going, "Oh, why is there's the future Mrs. Wallowitz, you know." He goes, "Oh, no, no, that's the future Mrs. Wallowitz." Well, which is in coincidence having her head in the lap of the future
No,
Mrs.
Mrs.
Wallowitz.
Well. Now,
And I
before
like that
we,
Leonard says, "Oh, so they can all move in with you and your mother, the current Mrs.
Mrs.
Wallowitz."
Wolowitz. Now, when the scene opened, we were
Yeah.
looking at the table
Yeah.
and we saw a Star Trek Klingon dictionary.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
It's real.
It's a real one.
It was published by Simon and Schuster in 1992.
Okay, and that is obviously because at one stage when they're going through the names that they've actually made, um, Howard comes up with two words plus the third one, which was Kreplach.
Yeah.
And they go, and because Rose calls him out and goes, "Hang on a minute, Kreplach, that isn't a Klingon word." And he goes,
That's a
"Yes, it is."
Jewish meat dumpling.
And he goes,
It's Yiddish for meat dumpling.
"Dumpling." And he goes, "Yeah." And of course, this is where Leonard
But
goes,
it's ironically also a Klingon word. And
and
Leonard's
Leonard
like,
says,
"Oh, really?
"Define it."
Define it. A
Yeah,
hearty meat
dumpling.
dumpling."
And this is where he goes to go with the ruling, and of course Sheldon then says something in Klingon and goes the
Thumbs
thumbs
down.
down. So anybody on YouTube can see me. I'm doing the thumbs down. Welcome, by the way, to everybody who's watching us through YouTube. Hi, good to see you. Um, so so after Penny goes out to because she's going to go and pay her cable bill. The next scene we see is there is Raj and Howard virtually sitting on top of the TV. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the geographic or locations of the house. So
Hmm.
landmarks, they need it to
Star
be,
charts.
yeah, so they need to pause the show so they can get the orientation of the house and where the locations are. But of course, this is where Leonard's coming in with dinner, saying, "Oh, did I miss anything?
Did I
Did I
miss
miss anything?"
anything? Did Don at least get kicked out yet?
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh no," and of course Rose goes, "No, but her underwater photo shoot was a disaster." And Howard comes back with, "Luckily," he said, apparently the future Mrs. Wallowitz has a reaction to chlorine, which is good because I like my supermodels pasty and bug-eyed." So this is where Leonard is divvying up the food. and Penny comes in, and she gets her dinner as well, and they open up their respective containers. And this is where Sheldon's like, "Oh, come on, we don't have to watch this again." And then everyone's like, "Yes, we do." And he's like, "Well, at least put it on mute."
Yeah.
So he goes to get up.
Because he's going on about how
They've got a strict,
the television watching schedule was hammered out over days, and we
yeah.
have it, and that any changes to the watching schedule, you need to make a motion to change.
And Leonard goes, "Oh, I'll make a motion. You just won't like it."
Yeah.
But that does come back to play when we see how it was when Leonard first met Sheldon, and
Mm-hmm.
they were going through the roommate agreement of the different volumes, and there was that one that was like the TV volume, as far as what we were going to be watching. Like they marked it down as like Firefly, as Sheldon said, it's going to go on for years, so we might as well vote on it
It
now.
only went on for like one season or
Yeah,
a half a season
but
or
as he said,
something.
it's going to be going on for years and years. So as Leonard, as Sheldon gets up to go and grab a drink in the kitchen, Penny
Reaches
grabs
into Sheldon's package and
and grabs
grabs
an
one of
onion
the
ring.
onion rings, and Raj is like squealing,
He goes, "Oh!" And she goes, "What?"
"What?"
And he goes, they go, put it back. It's, she's like, "It's just one onion ring." And of course, Howard's like, put it back." So she puts it back, and Leonard's like, no, 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 I don't think that's where it was." And now, before we get to that, is there a hard and fast rule? Like, she says that she was hungry.
Hmm.
She's got her plate in front of her. She's got
Yeah, but she
her
had
food.
fries, not onion rings.
Okay, but wouldn't she have said to Leonard, "Can you get me onion rings instead of fries?"
Maybe she would just wanted one onion ring. She wanted the fries, but just wanted one onion ring. You and I have
Well,
done that.
yeah, okay, I'm okay with you touching my food. You're okay with me touching your food. But if you were at
I'm not okay with Oliver touching my food.
we know that because he touches and he touches all your food. If you
Yes,
were
he would.
if you were at a social setting, even if you were with friends, and you didn't really know there, would you literally go in and grab something off their plate?
No, I wouldn't take something off of someone's plate
I
that I
mean,
didn't. Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't know, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was so adamant about people touching his plate that even his own daughter could not touch his plate. There was a classic example. Elvis was having something to eat at the dining room table at Graceland. He had Lisa on his lap, and he was just about to start eating, and she grabbed was like a French fry or something off of his plate. He literally gave Lisa to Priscilla. He got up, he took the plate, and he put it all into the bin, and he asked his cook to get him a fresh
Make him
plate of
another one.
food
Yeah.
because he was a. Funny enough, Elvis was a germaphobe, like he didn't like anything like that.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
understand from
Sheldon ends
Sheldon.
up throwing out that onion ring and anything else that onion
Yeah,
ring touched.
yeah, because he said,
I half expect him to put the whole thing in the
well,
bin.
thank you. I was thinking that too because when she says, there was just one onion ring, and he says, but you've
But
now,
then you put it back and
yeah,
it
which is,
contaminated other onion rings.
yeah, and like she gets up and she goes over to him and she goes, you know, "Oh, honey, the buses don't go where you live," and he's like,
I mean, in all
takes
honesty, if that was the way it is, he should have given her that onion ring and the other two onion rings.
exactly, or if that was the case, just give her all the onion rings.
Yeah,
Because he throws all of them away.
yeah.
And as he said, I'm sorry, Penny. Oh, actually, he does say to Penny about the strike two. You've got
Yeah,
two
this was your
strikes.
second strike. The first one
Was
was,
that you sent me an email which had a cat saying has cheeseburger, and she goes, "Oh, come on, everyone likes lol cats because they can't spell when they're cats." And he said, "Now strike two is the fact that you put the onion ring back in, contaminating the rest of the onion rings." So when she goes and speaks to him and says the buses don't go where you live, he says, "Well, now because you're part of our social circle, I have to, hold you accountable like everyone else." And as Leonard says, "Yeah, there you go, you're one of us." And Howard goes, "One of us, one of us."
okay. Now,
Yeah.
when Howard sarcastically chants one of us," after Leonard says, "You're officially one of us,"
Yep.
I think you know where I'm going with this. It is an
Hmm.
homage to the 1932 film Freaks.
Yeah.
where
It is.
deformed humans are joyfully chanting for the female protagonist Cleopatra, "Gobble, gobble, we accept her, one of us, one of us."
Yeah, I remember that one as I saw the movie.
I figured you'd know that one.
Yeah. So with everything that's going on, Penny sits in Sheldon's spot. As Sheldon comes over and goes, Penny, Leonard, she's in my spot, and she goes, you've got to be kidding me. And as Leonard says, which I fully agree with, um, here's the thing, Penny, when you leave, I still
I
have to
still have
live
to
with
live with
him.
him. And she's like, I don't care.
I'm
I'm
taking a
taking a
stand,
stand. Well, metaphorically.
metaphorically. And he goes, okay, that's it. Strike three. And because he also does say that strike two was a sports metaphor,
Yes.
baseball. And so he goes, that's it, strike three. And she goes, oh, strike three, as if to say, and what are you
What are
going
you
to
going to
do to
do
me?
about? And then the next thing you see, she is being exited from the apartment.
She is being banished from the apartment.
Yep.
And as she's walking out, going, "What sort of crap is that?" Leonard is following behind her, and says, "Now we find out that there is a situation where if you get three strikes, they stay on your record for a year,
Or
but
you
you
can
can get
reduce
them
the
removed
time they
early."
stay there if you take the class.
Yeah, you can get them removed early by taking his class, and you can do it online. So as she's being banished and Leonard is running after her, he says to her, "It's okay. I'll talk to Sheldon." She said, "Yeah, you do that. You do that." And he goes, just want to know, would you be willing to take
Would you be
Sheldon's
open to
class?"
taking the class? You can do it online.
And she slams the door, and you hear him say, the fact that, you could do it online. The next scene we see is the boys are at the Cheesecake Factory, and they have got a map, a very large map of the Hollywood Hills, and they've narrowed it down to 3 square miles of the Hollywood Hills or Dayton, North Carolina, which is where they think the house might be. So as they're going through this, and of course, this is where Leonard says, "Okay, if you find her, what are you going to do?" And they said, "What do you think we're going to do? We're going to go party with the pretty girls." And Leonard comes back with, "You're not going to get anywhere near that house." And he goes, and of course, Howard goes, "Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people thought about when
Well,
Neil
that's what
Arms."
they said to Neil Armstrong.
That's
And
right. And
Sheldon
Sheldon
was
comes
like,
back,
literally, no one said that to Neil Armstrong. In fact, the country dedicated a decade and tons of resources to putting a man on the moon.
and this is where Howard says, "Well, by the end of the decade, um,
We're going
Wolowitz
to
will
put a Wallowitz
Wolowitz
on one
on
of
the next."
America's not, next top models.
Yeah.
And Raj says yes, and millions of women won't believe it.
Yeah, and people will still not believe it.
Yeah.
This is where Penny comes to take their order.
And it's perfect.
It is a perfect order. Everyone gets their order taken, and as she walks away, Sheldon goes, "Oh, sorry, you forgot my order." And my bacon barbecue with
With
barbecue
the
on the
barbecue
side.
cheese and pickles on the side.
And she goes, "Oh, sorry, you're banished from the Cheesecake Factory.
You've got three
You got
strikes.
3 strikes." And he goes, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, like, you came in sitting down and I don't like your attitude." And he goes, "You
And
can't
she
do that.
says basically with the, and he's like, well, it goes against and aside from
California
being against
state
the
law."
hospitality law,
Yeah.
California state hospitality, it goes against Cheesecake Factory policy. Oh, well, there's a new policy at the Cheesecake Factory. No shirt, no shoes, no Sheldon.
And I like how it goes, "I bet we could sell that all over Pasadena."
Yeah, I bet we could sell that sign all over town.
Uh-huh. Now, you see Penny bringing back the food. Leonard gets his, Howard gets his, Raj gets his. And after a very long-winded and heated discussion with her manager, Sheldon is given the food by Penny, who then says, "I dare you to eat it." Like, here's,
Like,
yeah,
I spit in it. I dare you.
yeah, yeah. I dare you to eat this. And of course, this is where you just think that he just immediately thinks that she's done something unsanitary to that. Now,
Hmm.
everybody would do the same thing. Here's your food. I dare you to eat it. Oh, that's right. Cause she puts it down in front of him and she goes, "Go ahead and eat it." And he looks at her and she goes, "I dare you." And he immediately goes, "Oh," and he takes his hand away from the plate, which is insinuating that she's done something to it. That psychological would be like, "I am not going to touch this food because there's a good chance that I may be very, very sick sometime during the evening. Like,
Hmm.
I will either be throwing up or I'm going to have a crap ton of dysentery." Yeah, literally. So, yeah. So the dispute between Penny and Sheldon is escalating because the next scene we see, we're back in the apartment. Raj and Howard are still so involved with trying to find all the landmarks and the geographic locations of the house, even to the point in this scene where we see that Anais and Giselle are on the top of the house sunbaking.
Sunbathing, European
European
style.
style. And I like how Leonard comes in and goes, "You can see people on Google Earth." He goes, "No, of course not. I got a buddy of mine from NORAD to fly over." And he's like, "You're using military satellites?" And he goes, "Well, we're supposed to poke around a silo in
North Dakota.
no, in oh my God.
NORAD?
No, it was from NORAD. It was somewhere in Yugoslavia. It was supposed to go over.
No.
And as Howard said, I just took it an hour out of its way. And this is where Penny comes in and says that she says, "Where's Sheldon?" And Leonard goes, "Well, I've just dropped him off at the comic book store. Why?" And she said, "Just go on, try to go online." And he's like, is there a problem with the Wi-Fi?" She goes, "No, just go ahead." So he goes to try and log in, and there's a recorded message from Sheldon saying, "Yeah, dear hamburger toucher, you can, if you're wondering why you can't IM with your friends, it's because that I've decided to take steps against your parasitic piggybacking of our Wi-Fi. You can either A, set up your own Wi-Fi and pay for it, or you can apologize to me." So this is where she looks at Leonard, and Leonard goes, "I reiterate, just knuckle under." And he goes, she says to him, "No, um, I something about her in junior rodeo. She could hog tie and castrate him in 30 seconds."
Yep.
And this is where Howard goes, "There's no reason to neuter the nerd. I'll just go online.
I
I'll
love
get you
that
back
neuter
online,
the nerd.
and everything's fine." Howard goes to get online for Penny, and everyone gets one additional strike because as as Sheldon's little bit message comes up on the screen, "Hello, puny insects. Because you've decided to try and circumvent my will, everybody gets one additional strike." And I
And
like
and
how Leonard goes, "Thanks, Howard." And he goes, "What are you
and
talking
he's like,
about?
"What are you complaining about? I have to
I got to
take the
take the
course
course
again."
again." So this whole thing is now getting out of control. The next scene we see is Sheldon is coming out of the apartment with his laundry basket. It's Saturday night. Saturday night is laundry night. And as Penny is standing there and she says, you know, "Every Saturday night at 8:15. So easy to anticipate." And as they're walking down the stairs, he goes, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "I'm saying that you're a creature of habit." And this is where he like gives her that look of like, "Oh my God, well, what have you done?" And starts to run downstairs. And this is where Penny stands there and says to herself, "Yeah, knuckle under my ass." And
Yep.
we see that Sheldon's laundry night has been sabotaged by Penny because all the machines are taken. And she goes, "Oh no, are
Are
all the
all the
machines taken?"
machines taken?
And he
What?
goes, "That's okay. I'll do my laundry another night." And she goes,
But you'll
"Well, you can
always know
try.
that Saturday is
Is
laundry
laundry
night.
night." And he looks at her and he goes, "Woman, you are playing something that's above your
You are
kin.
playing with forces beyond your
Your
ken."
kin."
And Penny looks at him and says, "Yeah, well, your ken can kiss my Barbie." It is one of my favorite lines of the show.
The next scene we see is Penny walking upstairs very, very fast with her laundry basket. And the bang, 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 "Sheldon, bang, 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 Sheldon, bang, 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 Sheldon." And he opens the door. He's like, "Yes."
Yes.
She goes, "Where are my clothes?" And he goes,
What
What
clothes?
clothes?" And she says, "I went down to the dryer to get my clothes, and they were gone." And he goes,
It's
"Oh,
despite the sign that
it
says "Do
says
not leave
the
laundry
clothes
unattended."
unattended." And she goes, "Where are they?" And he goes, "You know, I do recall seeing a piece of
A
lingerie a
brassiere.
breeze that caught my eye." And they walk over to where the window is in their apartment, in Sheldon's apartment, and he goes, "Does that look familiar to you?" And she looks down, she goes, "How the hell did you get them up the telephone wire?" And he goes, "When you understand the laws of physics, Penny, anything is possible." And may I add, moi ha ha. And she goes, okay, this is getting out of hand, Sheldon. And he goes, I know. And she goes, look, I've done some silly things. You've done some silly things. Let's just agree and move on with our lives. And she goes, I am agreeing that you've done some,
And he's
silly
like,
things
she's like, you've got to meet me halfway.
halfway.
And he says, I am. I agree that you've done some silly things.
Yeah. So this is where we see Leonard coming into the apartment. He's like, "Oh, good, you guys are talking again." And they both give him the death stare, and he's like, "What did you do? What happened?" And this is where Penny says, "Remember when I told you that it was on? Well, now it's Junior
Junior
Rodeo
rodeo
on."
on.
And he's like, "Oh, not Junior Rodeo," which basically comes back
Oh
with,
no,
"No,
not the
not the
pet
pet store."
store.
And as he says to Sheldon, Sheldon, what did you do? And he says, I had no choice, Leonard. She ruined laundry night. And he walks over to the window. He's like, oh, I can't. What have you done? And you see Sheldon walking into his bedroom going, ma ha ha. So this is where Leonard goes over to Penny's apartment, knocks on the door, opens the door, and there is Penny gapper taping two
Like
like
mops
two
together.
mops together. And as she asks Leonard, telephone wires can't electrocute you, can they? And he goes,
No.
no. And he says, listen, I didn't want to do this, and he hands her a bit of paper. And
She's like, what is this? And she's like, Sheldon's
Sheldon's kryptonite.
kryptonite.
So she opens
And
it up
she's
and
like, I wanted to hurt him, but
but not
this,
this. Yeah. And he goes, you can never tell him that I gave that to you, from, I never gave that to
give it
you,
to you.
but it's going to shorten the war by 5 years and save millions of
Okay,
lives.
now what he's doing is paraphrasing
Hmm.
Harry S. Truman's Secretary of War, Henry L. Stimson, who justified the use of the atomic bomb by stating that it will shorten the war by 5 years and save millions of lives.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where that
Yeah,
came
that's
from
where that came from.
because I was wondering that.
But I
So that
love that they don't tell us what it is at this
no,
point.
no, and I like it how you've got the fun facts. You actually go and find out in what context that is. That's
Hmm.
why we have Kat doing all the trivia because I'm not that good at trivia, but she's really good at doing that. So Penny has just because we never see the note. All we see is she opens it up. She's like that gas, like oh
Yeah.
my God! And when she finds out this is the kryptonite, and she's so this is where we're back in the boys' apartment, and Howard's there, Raj is there, Leonard's just made himself a cup of tea, and the phone rings. And
Hmm.
Leonard picks up and goes, "Oh, hi. Yep, I'll just get it, Sheldon." And he comes. He goes, "Oh,"
It's for
he goes,
you. And
"Oh,
he's
it's
like,
for
well, who
you.
is it? And he's
It's your
like, it's
mother.
your mother. He's like, oh, how nice.
Hi, Mom. How are you?" And then all of a sudden, the conversation changes, and Sheldon's mother forces him to apologize to Penny,
Yep.
and as he says, "But Mom, she keeps sitting in my
My
seat, and
spot.
she touched my food," and he says. But Mum, and he goes, and obviously she says something about
Yeah.
Jesus,
And
and he
he's
goes, I
like,
don't think this is something
I
that
don't think this
Jesus,
is the kind of thing Jesus concerns himself with. No, I have no idea what Jesus thinks about.
and he's like, okay, goodbye, and hangs up the phone and looks over at Leonard and says, did you tell on me? And he goes, are you kidding me? I've still got two strikes, and just like looks down very
And he just
sheepishly.
smiles into his cup with this little look like, I'm not telling.
Yeah, because I'm in trouble if I do. The next scene we see is Sheldon with a basket full of clothes standing at Penny's door. And it's knock, knock, knock. Penny, knock, knock, knock. Penny, knock, knock, knock. Penny. Penny opens the door and he goes, I am sorry that I did these things to your clothes. Here is your clothes. Um, and you are no longer banished, and I rescind all your strikes.
Yep.
And she goes, thank you, Leonard. Thank you, Sheldon. That was very, very big of you. And And he goes, and she does say to him,
Can I
can I
sit
sit
anywhere I
wherever I
want?
want? And he says that,
And he gets the face
oh,
twitch.
yeah. And she's like, no, 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 no. And he goes, she says, thank you, Sheldon. It's very big of you. And he goes, Penny, yes, well
Well
played.
played.
And she goes, thank you. And he says, just remember something. With great power
Comes
comes
great
great
responsibility.
responsibility. And she's like, understood. And then at that moment, they both turn and walk away in their separate
Yeah.
directions. The last part of the episode that we see, Howard and Raj have found the next top model house. And you see the scene from the inside of the model house. You see the girls walking past, and you hear ding dong at the front door. One of the girls goes over, opens the door, and there is Howard and Raj standing there in cable repair outfits, and says that we're here to repair the cable. And
Oh,
she's
but I
like,
think we
"We've
have
got satellite."
satellite.
And he goes, "Oh, that's what
That's
I
what I
meant."
meant.
And she's like, "Oh,
Okay.
okay, come on in." So they walk away, and the two guys, Howard and Raj walk in, and there's a very attractive woman that walks past them towards the right-hand side, stage right, and Raj goes, "So what do we do now?" And as the girl walks past stage right, Howard goes, "Well, then we just follow
Follow
Mrs.
Mrs.
Wolowitz,"
Wolowitz.
and you see them just walk very, very casually that
And
way.
leaving the door wide open.
Wide open. The episode then goes black, and that is the end of the episode.
Now, I'd like to point out that the two models who opened the door for Raj and Howard
Yep.
are Leo Tipton and Samantha Potter, who
Okay.
were actual contestants on America's Next Top Model in 2003. And in their season, they placed third and second, respectively.
Well done, girls. 2003. We were just talking about this the other day.
No, this was earlier
This was
today.
no, this was the other. It was last week we were talking about when we were at the grocery store. Remember last week
What were we saying?
that 2003 was 21 years ago.
Was 22. No, it was this morning
Oh,
when we were picking up my meds and I heard this young man next to us giving them his date of birth
that's right.
and it was 2003 and I did the math and I'm like that's
Wow.
he's 22. It's like how the
22
heck did
years
that
ago.
happen? Yeah, remember this morning?
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, my son is going to be 24 this year. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, in another month.
I am
In
really
about another
old.
5 weeks, yeah.
I'm old, everybody.
And
I have a lot of miles on me.
I'm
I'm
older
not.
than you are,
I,
so.
I don't have I don't have a new car smell anymore.
As Indiana Jones said, it ain't the years, honey, it's the mileage.
Yep, and I do not smell like a new car anymore. I've had some miles on the clock.
No, but
I,
you usually
I've
smell
gone
really
around.
good.
I've gone around three times on my clock.
I have to say, he usually smells pretty good.
I try to be. I try to keep my
He
new
puts
car
nice
smell.
stuff on,
I
he
I
smells
try to keep
nice.
the new car smell, but.
Yep.
But yes, I the thing is about this episode is that it goes. I mean, it seems like we've sped through it. We really haven't because it's that fast. It's very much along the lines of just Penny and Sheldon going at it, and it's intercut a little bit with Howard and Raj's determination to get into the next top model house. But really, that's all it really is. Leonard doesn't play a huge part in it this time. It's all centered around Penny and Sheldon trying
Yeah.
to nut this out as far as who is going to apologize to who, which, as I said, in all honesty, I don't know how long the argument would have gone through had Leonard not given Penny his kryptonite, you
Yeah.
know, but I'm glad he
Well, they
did.
would have just kept escalating.
Yeah, but I'm glad he did because it does show that even though Penny did get you know, that information on the quiet, it does show Sheldon that, oh, I can push you so far, but if I push you too far, you've got a way of getting past my, my ability to just be an absolute nightmare. So,
Yep.
but I did like that episode, and this is, as I said, this is in my top 10 of favorite
It's
episodes.
okay. It's not in my top 10.
Okay, we got some
Um,
great episodes coming up,
oh yeah.
and
Oh,
soon we're gonna.
the next one is interesting.
Which one was that one?
The Lizard Spock expansion,
Oh, yes,
which
yes.
I believe is where move over there. So season 2, episode 8 is the Lizard Spock expansion, and it's where we meet Dr. Stephanie.
Episode 8? I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was. Oh yes, we're on season 7. Yes. Oh, that's right. Yes, season episode 8.
Yep.
Oh
As
yes, Dr. Stephanie Barnett. I always liked her. I thought her
she was a
and
good match.
yeah, I always thought that her and Leonard would have been really good together. She was
Except that she was
attractive.
a little too needy,
Oh yeah, well, she was okay. She was needy, but I think someone like that would have been good for Leonard.
but she handled Sheldon well.
Yeah, she did. But Yeah, I always liked Dr. Stephanie. I thought Dr. Stephanie was good.
Yeah, I did too, but it's always Penny.
But that is next week. So
Yes,
how
yes.
was our food
So
this
we
week?
had one burger takeaway, one cheesecake factory, and one snack.
Okay. Now, do we have the question for this week?
Who do you think you're dealing with?
I'm
I
just
mean,
helping you
come
along.
on.
I'm just
Yeah,
guiding
you
you.
don't need to lead me on,
I've never led you on.
Bull.
I did not. I served you fish. That's not leading you on.
So our question of the week,
Hmm.
and I want you to be honest,
Okay, everyone.
which TV show would you never admit that you love on a first date, but secretly quote every episode of?
Okay, I've got two. I just thought of another one.
Okay, what's that?
So first one is Trainwreck.
Yep. Otherwise known as Love is Blind.
Hmm.
And we've watched almost every version of this, including we got bored with Japan because they were so nice and there was just no drama.
Yeah. You gotta have
Um,
drama.
and we got a little tired of was it Brazil or Argentina?
Brazil.
Brazil because the women in Brazil apparently have no clue what a bra is.
Yeah, and all boobies and everything. So
Yeah. So we got a
um
little tired of that.
the only other one that I would actually say that it's a I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a fun you know it. We're gonna have a
What?
conflab. That's the only other one that I could secretly
Oh,
say because Kat and I have always said, bring out the models and let's have a
we
conflab.
have a conflict. Yeah, that is from Glow Up,
Glow up.
which is a makeup design competition show. It's
Okay,
actually
everybody, I just
really
want everybody
interesting.
to know I love horror movies. I am not a TV junkie of trash TV,
No.
but for some reason I watch these shows.
Okay, okay. So
Love is Blind was start. She did it.
Love is Blind started that I was halfway through the first episode, and Paul and I went out for a date night dinner. This is like in 2001, just as COVID was starting to lift. And we were sitting and waiting.
2021.
Huh?
2021, not 2001.
Oh, sorry. Um, and we were sitting and waiting for our table, and I said, "Hey, I found this show that I started watching," and I basically explained the premise to him, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds like fun." So when we got home that night, we started it over again, and both of us have been obsessed with it ever since.
Yeah.
Him more than me,
Oh,
ironically enough.
Boulder Duty.
Pull the duty.
Absolutely. I'll get my cocky out. I won't get the budgie out. I'll get the cocky out and start going crazy. Good.
Cockies are cockatoos in Australia, by
Yeah,
the way.
cockatoos. But yeah, I won't get my budgie smugglers out. I'll get my cocky out. But no, it is no.
No, oh, okay. So when Netflix says new episodes, new season coming,
No,
he's the one that gets all
I'm actually
excited
more
about it.
interested and more excited about seeing American Sweethearts coming out. They got a new season
Oh,
coming
the
out
Dallas
next
Cowboy cheerleaders. I
cheerleaders.
know. Oh, if you haven't watched that, there's
Yeah.
what, two seasons so far?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
It is such a good show. And it was hilarious because I walked in, Paul was playing video games earlier today, and he was listening to the radio, and I walked in, and what's the name of the song?
Thunderstruck by
Thunderstruck
AC/DC.
by AC/DC.
Yep.
And that song was on, and I was like, "Isn't that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader song?"
Yeah.
Because they do this big thing to that song. And we actually found a video of them on YouTube performing at halftime to
The
this
entire
song,
song.
to the entire song.
Yeah.
And we actually realized that both of us were looking at it going, "Do we know her? Is that one of the ones that was on the show? Do we know her?" Oh, I think that's her.
Yeah. But the fact is that watching these girls, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that sit there. I mean, I'm a guy, last time I checked. And I do like very attractive women and stuff like that. Of course, you can see who I'm married to, so she's very attractive. Um, but the fact is that I look at these girls the same way as these girls are professional athletes.
They
These
don't get
girls,
nearly enough credit for what they
they
do.
really, I mean, yes, they're eye candy for the guys and the obviously the girls that are leaning that direction. But the fact is that they are eye candy. But what we need to understand is that even though these girls are not being paid millions of dollars, these girls are not getting paid a livable wage, and they deserve to get paid a livable wage. And luckily, at the end of season two, they had taken the Dallas corporation to court and said they are entitled to get a livable wage. I don't know how
Yeah.
far they went, but they did
No,
get.
I think they got it bumped up to like 75 grand a year per girl
Yeah, and
or
the
per
thing is
woman,
that
sorry.
they deserve because they get just as many. They get ankle injuries, they get blown out knees and stuff like that. They've got girls that are actually in the squad, and then they've got girls who have to learn the routine in the event that one of the main squad girls has an injury or
And they
sickness or whatever.
basically have to learn every single position of every
Yeah,
number.
and then they can then fill in as needed, or they might just be an alternate, which they never get on
Yeah.
the
I
main
think there's like
arena.
five alternates.
Yeah, but the fact is that they need to know at any one time if someone is sick or injured or whatever, they can slot in. But these girls are amazing to watch Thunderstruck. So if you are interested, just type in Dallas Cheerleaders Thunderstruck. You'll see the entire routine, and it is
Yeah.
so well worth watching it because these girls are amazing. So that's one of my guilty pleasures is watching
Honestly,
American
if anything,
Sweethearts.
I think they work harder than the football players.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit too, even though I love my NFL, if anybody is wondering, my team is the New England Patriots. Yes, I am partial because I lived in New England, but I love my New England Patriots. I saw them last week for their first game last week, which I was very excited about seeing. But yeah, they are my team of choice. But yeah, that is one of my favorite TV shows. But yeah, the Conflab and the yeah, Love Is Blind is one of my
Okay, so it's
secret ones.
not something that I'm ashamed of.
Okay.
Um, but I think the gateway to Paul watching reality TV was when I got him hooked on Chopped,
Um,
which is a cooking competition show.
well, okay, I can sort of say yes about that, but I was already ingrained in cooking shows because I not only saw Yan Can Cook, that was the beginning of it,
Yeah,
but the one that I absolutely fell hard for was Iron Chef Japan.
yeah,
And then after that, I watched Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay.
Nimsy, yeah.
I've seen almost every episode of that. And then Ramsay's Nightmares and stuff like that, which is rescuing like, restaurants and stuff from foreclosure and bankruptcy. But cooking shows, Yan Can Cook definitely the first one, and Iron Chef Japan. But I must admit, Chopped is another great show that I've actually enjoyed
In my
watching.
opinion, Chopped is next level to all of those.
What was that one that they were doing the cake one that they had to do? They had to make sculptures out of it.
Oh,
Oh my God. They did I mean, we've got so many we've watched. We've watched is it what's the one with the glass
blown away.
blowing away.
That is such a
That's
good
another
show.
awesome one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And
then there was the cupcake one.
the cupcake one and then
A sweet, I don't remember.
the other one was the one where they were making cakes and they had to make it into sculptures and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was
I
another
haven't seen
awesome
that
one.
one in a while.
No, they've taken that one
There's
off,
a
I
new
think.
one on Netflix for like the next Top Chef kind of thing.
Yeah,
And then there was that Top Chef competition where where they would do stuff in the studio kitchen and then they would take them out places and
that's
one of
right.
them Simon Helberg was a guest.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that England had, which I really loved. It was the designing one that we saw,
Oh, yeah, the interior
the
design one.
interior designing show.
Don't forget the Great Pottery Throwdown.
That's right, yeah, as well. But the other one that we saw, which was the designer one that was actually only in
I
England,
loved that show.
that was really great.
Frankie.
Frankie
Frankie
Flood
should have
was
won.
Frankie Flood was the one that actually I follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then obviously Love on the Spectrum, which is
Oh, that is amazing.
really great shows that one. So we've got a lot of shows. When you think about it,
We
where
watch
do I
way
get
too
time?
much reality TV
Where
for
do I
people
get
who
time to
hate
watch horror
reality
movies? I
TV.
do not know. Too much reality TV in our house.
But that being said, if I were to talk about like comfort TV,
Mm,
um, Gilmore Girls,
yep,
Once Upon a Time, Call the Midwife. I have every episode. I have all the DVDs for Warehouse 13.
Army Wives?
Huh?
Army Wives?
Yep, Army Wives. I don't have the DVDs for that. I wish I did.
Hmm.
Because eventually Disney hopefully will always keep it on, but if they don't, then I'm screwed. Um, but yeah, Army Wives is another one. Where these shows just feel like coming home.
Yeah, and this is the whole thing is like with the Big Bang Theory, and we all can
Oh,
MS
you
family.
froze, honey.
No, I'm still
No, you
talking.
froze.
Oh, okay. Well, am I unfrozen now?
Yeah, but say your last sentence.
Okay. No, I was going to say, being part of the PMS family, which we all are, we all understand that we can watch The Big Bang Theory right to season 12, the last episode, and go back and start again
Yeah.
because for us, The Big Bang Theory is our comfort food.
I think the longest we've gone without watching Big Bang since it ended is about a week and a half
Yeah. And
because
then
we
we
just
start
miss it so
again.
much. So we
And this
start
is
over again.
this and this is why shows like this, like MASH, stuff like that, it's we are, and I think everyone will agree with me. We are not watching a show. We are actually interacting with our friends.
Yeah.
We can all see these people as being people that we would actually associate with.
Yeah, I
We could be
remember
friends with these people.
when Big Bang was ending, I actually said I felt like my best friend was moving away.
Yeah, because we can see
Yeah.
whoever it is in Big Bang Theory, whether it's Stuart, whether it is Zach, whether it's Raj, Howard, whatever.
Yeah.
The fact is that we can see somebody that we would like to associate with, and we could see that we could become best friends with.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
we could see hanging out with Sheldon and Leonard and Raj and Howard just mucking around
Yeah.
playing video games or going to the Cheesecake Factory and seeing Penny or Bernadette or Amy. The fact is that all these people have been so well cast to make us really feel like we're watching Friends, we're not watching a TV show.
Exactly.
And this whole thing is going to be when Kat and I are sitting here in our 80s, obviously not on the podcast, but watching Big Bang, and these people will be in their 60s. It's like we'll still look at them as our best
Best
friends.
friends. Yeah.
And we'll be able to keep reliving this show over and over again. This is why Big Bang Theory is timeless.
Mm.
It's Big Bang is going to become another MASH. You can watch MASH from beginning to end and go back and start it again, and
Oh, you froze again, honey.
but you're
Okay.
gonna
You froze again, so you can go back and start watching MASH again from the beginning.
yeah, and you'll be sitting there feeling like you're seeing your friends again.
Yeah. All right. I think the fact that you keep freezing is a hint that we're supposed to wrap this up now.
All right, so you've got to be your crazy
Okay.
credits.
Crazy credits. Chuck Lorre Productions number 225. We exist to bear witness. We had to be. The infinite needs us to see it. Without the perceiver, the perceived does not exist. That gives us leverage. Don't look until you get what you want.
Okay,
Okay.
short, sharp, and shiny.
Yep.
As I said, remember anybody, if anyone's interested in horror movies, then
Reach
let
out
me
to
know.
Paul. He needs some new friends.
Reach out to me because I need some new friends on here.
And um, if you know anyone who is interested in the Big Bang Theory, please invite them to join the conversation because it's always fun with more people.
Did you enjoy your coffee that Sarah gave you
I
when you were in Melbourne?
did. I
I'm
did.
glad. Thank you,
Yes.
Sarah, again for sending
Starbucks
coffee,
coffee.
Starbucks coffee to Kat. Yeah, she's just got my coffee now. She doesn't have Starbucks now.
Yeah. But your
Oh, there we
coffee's
go.
good.
The love hearts. If anybody is on watching through YouTube, you just see hearts and
Um,
everything.
Now, if you haven't done already, please leave us a like and a review wherever you listen to podcasts because that does help more people find us.
Yep,
And if you want to reach out and talk to us in any way, there's multiple ways to do that.
absolutely.
One is to email us at
Perpetual Motion Squad 00 at gmail.com.
or to reach out to us on Messenger, or you can comment on the Facebook page or group. You can comment in Spotify
Or on YouTube as
or on
well.
YouTube now. And
Yeah,
if you ever want to shout us a coffee and just say thank you for everything that you do because you love this podcast so much. If you want to help me celebrate my recent business award,
which is
um,
behind her, everybody.
yes, it's right behind me
Right
there.
there.
Um, or Anything else, there is always the PayPal me link in any of the notes. So on the Facebook page, in the About section, the group in the About section, and then all of the comment section areas, there is a PayPal me link. So we would absolutely love and adore to have you send us a coffee.
Yep. And in a couple of weeks, unbeknownst to Kat, there is going to be a special announcement of something that's coming up around Christmas time. So stay with me. Don't shake your head at me.
I can't trust him for a minute. All right, gang. Thanks for being with us. And we will see you next time for season 2, episode 8, the Lizard Spock expansion. And in the meantime, we'll catch up with you at the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye, everyone.